Hi, everybody. I'm Mike, and this is Mike Miller Talks Life. Today's thought that I want to explore with you is we reap what we sow. Everybody's planting down here, and the garden shops and nurseries are all crowded with people buying things they want to plant at their home and buying equipment to aid in planting whatever they're going to plant. And it's time to plant some things and real close to plant others. And I've learned that just by observing that if you want a certain kind of fruit, you need to pick that tree or those seeds to get that. Or if you want a certain kind of flower, you have to pick that kind of plant or those seeds to produce that. And the same with vegetables. If you're into that kind of thing, you pick those seeds because, I know this sounds stupid, but it's because of this principle. You reap what you sow. This is a life principle that applies to everybody. Though it comes out of the Bible, it's a universal principle of life. Our life is like a garden, and it produces what has been planted. It displays the seeds that have been planted. And we're encouraged to not be deceived about this, which means don't shine this on. Don't ignore this. This is reality. This is how life works. We reap what we sow. So I want to look at this principle a little bit, and first just the phrase itself. We reap what we sow. Sowing is important. It simply says our life is a garden, as I said, and we are the gardeners. We sow seed in our life. Whatever you put your time in, wherever you put your talent, wherever you put your energy, whatever you focus on determines what will be produced and displayed in your life. Reaping what you sow means that we all must eventually face the consequences, the result, the product of the seed we have sown in our life. Whether it's good or bad, it can be either one. This can be a positive principle or a warning. So the status of your marriage, of your family, of your children, their lives when they're young, your friends, your finances, your attitude, your spiritual life, your approach to life, your career, your character, your morality. These are all the result of the seeds that have been planted. Other people can sow into your life. Our friends, our teachers, our pastor, our spiritual leader, the podcasters that you listen to, what we view on TV or YouTube, Facebook, the news we watch, what we read, the conspiracies that we listen to. These are all planting seed in our life, and they will produce a crop, or they can produce a crop if we allow it go on long enough. The things that are happening in our life, how we think, how we feel, how we react, what we do, are all the product of seeds that have been planted before by us or by someone else. Consistent choices, consistent behavior patterns are planting seeds. This is one of those life principles that I think explains a lot about life and life outcomes, so it can be helpful. We reap what we sow. Also in this is this idea that we reap more than we sow. You can plant a fruit tree in your yard down here of apples or oranges or lemons or grapefruit or plum or whatever. You can plant one tree and get a lot of fruit. That's interesting to me. We have two fruit trees in our backyard. One is apricot and one is plum. The plum tree is not doing very good. We're trying to bring it back to life. I don't know if we know what we're doing. And the apricot tree is doing really well. Well, we pruned them and cleaned them up and reshaped them. They were out of control because we want them to do better. And I felt like after pruning and cleaning up all the debris, we were trying to put me in an early grave because it was tiring. We reap more than we sow. Some seeds we plant result in a lot of fruit. They shape our life. Many people are blessed by our life, are damaged by what we do because of the seeds that have been planted. We reap more than we sow. We also, in this idea of reaping, we reap later than we sow. I don't know if you've noticed, but you can plant something and go out in the next day or two and not see any result. Now, some seasoned planters, gardeners, they understand that. And they don't even worry about it. They're patient. I'm kind of impatient. I go out and, I even wait, I even wait like a week. I don't see any result. And I'm thinking, it's not working. But the seed has to be in the ground for a while. The roots from the tree you've planted or the bush you planted have to be in the dirt for a while. And after a while, the fruit will come. Life is like that. We may be doing something good and we don't see any results and we're getting tired. We grow weary doing it and we want to quit. This is not working. I'm out of here. But this principle encourages us to hang in there. Because if you don't give up, you will see a payoff. Or maybe we can be reacting to life in a certain way and not really think much about it. Maybe we're negative, maybe we're complaining, maybe we're angry and bitter. And without realizing it, this is sowing seed. And after a while, the fruit begins to come. And we're a bitter person. We have no joy, no happiness. Or maybe we have started doing something to help us cope with a tough time in our life. And after a while, you realize you have a habit that you're stuck with. We reap later than we sow, not instant. And sometimes that's tricky. We don't realize. And then all of a sudden, here it is. We also reap longer than we sow. If you plant one fruit tree, apple, orange, lemon, grapefruit, a tree will produce for a long time. The whole fruit season, and then it'll stop, but then it'll come back the next time, and the next time it'll just keep producing. Some flowers that you plant can just keep coming back. Our neighbor has growing along their fence, I don't know what kind it is. It's just a beautiful flower, and it was blossoming full force when we moved in here, and then it sort of went away, and now here it comes back, and it's cool. And it just keeps coming. And I'm sure they just planted them. Probably didn't take much time. And boy, now, long-term result. Good deeds can have long-lasting result. They plant the seed of good and that just keeps being produced. Good choices, good habits can produce positive, long-lasting attitudes and outlooks on life. The same with bad choices, bad habits can create long-term destruction. We reap longer than we sow. It's kind of an interesting little side note. Um, I was overhearing a conversation at a garden store, and a woman was talking to a person who worked there, and she wanted to get rid of a tree that was producing a certain kind of fruit, and she wanted something else in there. And she said, so I need to know what I'm supposed to do. And he says, uproot, cut it out, put in the new tree, the new bush, whatever you want. You just got to be thorough, get it all out of there. And that made me think about life itself, because sometimes we're not happy with the fruit that's been produced by the seeds that we've planted. It can change. It can change. You can cut it out. You can put in the new and nurture the new seeds and help them produce good fruit that'll just push out the old. Sometimes the old will pop up and you have to do ongoing weeding, but it's really possible to change the fruit that's being produced in your life. And I find that so encouraging. So the question is, what do you want your life to be? What do you want your life to produce? Joy, kindness, positive, hopeful, spiritual connect with God that's healthy and productive, creative, happiness, joy. Or if those are the things that you want in your life, then it's important to think about it. What kind of seed does it take to produce that? They're important questions, because you need to look at what you're yielding your life to, what you're committing yourself to, what you're aligning yourself with, and who or what do you allow to have influence in your life? Because each of these are like planting seed in your life that will produce fruit, because the seed is being sown, and we reap what we sow. We reap after we sow, not instant. We reap more than we sow, and we reap longer than we sow. I think this is a powerful principle. I can see the positive aspects of this, of thinking, what do you want? And begin to sow seeds that will produce that. And that, I think that's positive and encouraging. Hey, thanks so much for listening. I hope this was helpful to you, and some encouragement, as well as, sort of a reality check of what's being produced in your life and what kind of seeds are you sowing. And maybe it's been perfect for you today. You've been thinking about, hey, what's happening with my life? What is my life becoming? And it's a great reality check. Maybe you know somebody that's struggling with this and you might want to share it with them. I mean, you got these options every week to like it, maybe subscribe if you haven't, or maybe share with somebody who might be benefited by this universal life principle. Thanks for listening. Until next week, I hope you have a safe and productive week.